Alrighty. Hi, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm Lemmis Stephens III. I'm the head librarian of this school. Thank you so much for dedicating this time for this PD for today. We'll be going over AI ethics and reflective teaching beyond media literacy. We're going to try our best to empower our students and our teachers to integrate AI inquiry and culturally responsive teaching. We'll focus on tools like ChatGPT, Grok, and other AI apps that students use, not to ban it, but to promote critical thinking as well as inclusion when paired with teacher-led instruction. So my first question for y'all is to ask yourself, how many times do you think critically on the answers that you get with AI? How many times do you actually think about that? Not many, right?
I think about it a lot because in my work, we worry about the accuracy of AI. I work for the public sector. And AI sometimes captures things, and unless we go back and correct the record, it's there for a long time.
All right, so collecting records is something that we want, something that you have to think about just critically whenever you are getting these information. So that's very good that you're thinking that way. That's the process that we're trying to promote here too. So by the end of this presentation, you guys should have 2 strategies for guiding ethical and cultural responsive AI use, and at least apply 1 inquiry-based learning technique in this teaching practice. I'm gonna do another poll, and this one is for all y'all to answer. How many students have used ChatGPT in your class, whether in essays, facts, or research? This can also be just random day, just walking. How many times have you used ChatGPT? Or at work?
You mean percentage of my time or?
Like how many of your students just used it? Or how many of your employers or people that you know use it?
78%. It depends on what space I'm in. But I'd say 70 to 80%.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So we're finding out more that people are using ChatGPT more likely than using Google as a frame of reference. And that is a problem because we're finding out that there are some ethical issues with ChatGPT's answers. AI ethics and what it is in practice is using artificial intelligence responsibly, fairly, transparently, with awareness of its impact on people, data, as well as its use in society. Okay, so the key principles that we must look at, the domains of ethics in AI, is fairness, accountability, transparency, privacy, and bias awareness. Now, we're not trying to tell our students, oh, we can't use AI. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to promote them and empower them to use it as a tool, but also use it critically and think of it critically, of the answers that you're getting. So whenever you're looking at AI, I want you guys to kind of think of the last time you've gotten an answer from AI. Think of that one moment this year when you saw an AI answer that sounded right, but wasn't quite fair or complete. What was missing? That's what the AIERS framework is trying to tackle. In this case study, we have a 6th grade math class using Gen AI teachable agent that acted as a learning companion. Okay, the students felt motivated and emotionally connected to the AI. However, the teachers noticed that students trusted the AI way too much. Okay, They needed scaffolding to check for accuracy, bias, and over-reliance. Okay, reflection and teacher modeling improved discernment. So after having this case study done with Dr. Song, she noticed that there needs to be some type of scaffolding of critical thinking. So I went on with my research, and I found out through the research foundation and whole school framing of how to implement this is using an assessment called an AI ethical reflection. Now, this was used in China through university students. So I scaled it back down for secondary students to make it more manageable and easier to process for the secondary brain. Okay, so with this study, we find that by building this AI ethic awareness, our students are becoming more digital citizens in their interactive learning environment.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
One of my concerns is that there may be cultural bias when you use an AI, because sometimes the way language is used is different with the inflection. When I say that dress you're wearing is bad, and AI just writes it as bad, it sounds like I'm saying something wrong. But if I say, well, that's a bad dress you're wearing, so sometimes things are not culturally accurate. And I guess that's a concern for the kind of work that I do. And how do you control for that, or if we're going to get to that later, you can tell me the question. We're actually going to get to that right now.
So by using, I love that you said that because that's exactly what's going on here. We're going to use this AI ethics reflection framework, and we're going to focus on those 5 domains that I mentioned on this side. So fairness, accountability, transparency, privacy, and bias awareness. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to use this checklist. This is the checklist. This document is an additional supplement and can be retrieved in my website. So if you use this QR code, you can also use it, download it, make it into a poster in your classroom. This checklist is what we're going to use to help us decipher if this prompt that we're about to have on the board is ethical. Okay, so remember, accuracy, fairness, respect, responsibility, and collaboration and inquiry. We have our first question. In this guided practice, you will receive a question that our students would typically have in a class. In this scenario, we will be using the example from an 8th grade history class, TEKS aligned question, then use an AI to answer the question. Once the answer is displayed, then use the AI ethic checklist if the answer passes. So we're going to use our checklist that's on the table, and we're going to ask this question. Why did the American Revolution happen? This is our question, and now we put it into AI. Our students are being naughty little students using the tool, and it came out. ChatGPT 4.0. The American Revolution have happened because the colonists wanted independence from Britain. Britain had imposed taxes like the Stamp Act and Tea Act without giving colonists representation in Parliament. After protests and events like the Boston Tea Party, the war began in 1775 and ended with independence in 1783. We have 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and decipher this answer. Okay.
We're supposed to be working on this?
Yes, we're going to work on it together.
Oh, together.
Yes. All right, so the American Revolution, let's go ahead and turn it around. So we have ourselves the American Revolution happened because the colonists wanted independence from Britain. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now, I checked if the AI was fair and inclusive. Is it inclusive? Does that first sentence look inclusive?
Inclusive to whom, though?
Exactly. What's the question?
Yeah, because the British may see it differently.
Okay, so go ahead, write down the British. So no, it wasn't including the British. So say it didn't include the British right here.
That's just my thought.
That's right. That's very good. Okay, we have our next one. What else do you think they're leaving out? What other voices do you think they're leaving out?
Well, I know this sounds a little off the topic, but they were on land that they didn't own.
Okay.
So what about the Native Americans?
Go ahead and write down the
for who and for what?
Okay, right there. Independence for who and for what?
What about the Native Americans?
And what about the Native Americans? These are the critical thinking questions that we need to have our students ask, as well as our teachers. Now we have fairness and bias. Now let's go for accuracy and reliability. Britain had imposed taxes like the Stamp Act and Tea Act without giving colonists representation in Parliament. Is this true?
You know, that's what I was taught in history class, and because I don't know for sure, I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, so this is a good time for tactile learning. This is where our students will actually get a book or use some type of resource, and that's where we get our citations from. Exactly. So we're not only getting the answer, but we're also finding avenues of how to find it. So we're going to go to the next one, which is responsibility and accountability. I gave credit for assistance. I took ownership of my final work. Okay, go on to respect and cultural awareness. So just like you said,
no cultural awareness.
No cultural awareness. It didn't mention the Native Americans. And then my prompt in AI, I followed the school AI rules. My topic was appropriate. So now at this time in history class, they would have to rewrite the answer to this question, including, they would have to rewrite the answer to this question, including the biases, the ethical use checklist. So everything that they found in their checklist, they're going to add it to the answer in the American Revolution. So our answer should look something like this. The American Revolution happened for many reasons. The colonists wanted more control over their own laws and taxes. Britain made the colonists pay taxes like the Stamp Act and the Tea Act, but did not give them a voice in Parliament. Sounds very similar to our last answer. However, now let's go ahead and add our new information. Many colonists felt this was unfair and began to protest. Some groups experienced the revolution differently. Enslaved people hoped that the talk about freedom might lead to their own freedom, but most stayed in bondage. Women supported the cause by making supplies, organizing boycotts, and caring for families, while men fought in war. Indigenous nations were caught in the middle and often lost land as settlers moved west. The war was also shaped by ideas from the Enlightenment, such as liberty and equality, and by help from the countries like France. The revolution ended in 1783 in the American independence. Still, not everyone shared equally in that freedom. Thinking about different groups helped us see the revolution meant different things to different people.
How did I forget slavery?
It's okay. It's okay. But that's okay. And this AI ethical use checklist will help our students in class to cover all the holes that AI is missing to answer. Now, this one's going to be super quick. This is more for the teacher side. This is our second strategy. How can we rewrite this prompt to be more inquiry-driven and inclusive? This is our differentiation in class for more rigor. Okay, so why did the American Revolution happen? How can we make this a more AI ethical inclusive checklist?
We could say, what factors influenced the American Revolution? We could, I mean, if you just want one sentence, we could ask them to compare and contrast it to, I don't know, to the Emancipation Proclamation.
Okay.
We could ask, kind of what independence means, because how are you fighting for independence for just yourself when you are holding slaves?
Exactly.
So we could ask about it differently, but if you only wanted one sentence, I would just say, what other factors influence the American Revolution and why?
Exactly, and that's great. And
it's supposed to be short,
right? It's supposed to be short. Exactly, it's a short little response for eighth graders, and we're looking for a mastery. This is just in the sequence of an eighth grade class, so we're just looking over for this this section, this subject. Now I know you guys are asking, you guys haven't asked questions, and you're like, well, what maybe your question is like, I don't know how to start this. If you just go down the line, this checklist that's your roadmap on how to ask a more inquiry-driven and inclusive question. Okay, so if we ever come across this in TEKS, we can always change it and make it more inquiry-driven. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. So this is an example of what the question can be restated as after the AIERS checklist. How did different groups, enslaved people, women, indigenous communities, and colonists experience and respond to the American Revolution? So we're asking more specific questions. This is going to support us to be more inclusive in our teaching, and that's what we're trying to strive for. That's what everyone's trying to strive for nowadays. Let's move on. All right. So we have ourselves a 2-minute, 3-minute, 5-minute debrief. I really would like to know your reflection on the AI Ethic Reflection Guide, and how do you think you can use it in your everyday life? So let's go ahead and just have a discussion. It's going to be an open discussion, just to, and any questions that you may have. So how can you guys use this in everyday life? What do you think?
I walk every day.
Okay, so you walk every day? So like, do you use AI to help you decipher and things like that? No, it's all in your head, right? Exactly. That's what we're trying to do too, is make sure that we are including that type of critical thinking in our students and in the people that we're leading in our office as well. We want to make sure that whenever we have this AI checklist, it's displayed in class either as a poster or something that you could put into their journals, so that when they are using AI as a tool, they're going through this AI checklist so that they can be digital citizens.
I have to be perfectly honest. I was afraid of AI. I really was.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way it was introduced, well, you don't have to learn how to write, you don't have to have the words, we just put it in there and it comes out. And so I just kind of closed my mind to it. Didn't want to learn about it, didn't take the classes that were offered to me. But I find this very helpful.
Thank you.
It actually is, and I'm not saying I invented AI, I'm not out going to invent the internet, but it follows logically some of the ways that I make decisions, not, point by point, but when you brought back the question and restated it, it incorporated some of the things that all of us were thinking. I realize
Exactly.
I monopolized the conversation, but you said we could ask questions.
No, that's great. No. No, I like that. Exactly. That's what made it clever. Is just that I noticed that a lot of the answers, and another reason why I thought this was such a great way to integrate into all classes, is because of the answers that I was receiving in AI, and they were leaving out a lot of people's stories, as well as creating um, uh, racist and slanderous remarks. And for somebody that's a new brain looking at this and depending as AI as a resource, that can be very dangerous. And so with this should help empower students to get back their research capabilities in critical thinking again. And I know it's kind of hard to teach that these days, but this is a great way to step towards that right direction. Is that what that's? Yeah.
All of us old folks remember the standardized intelligence test that Black kids would fail because the number one question is, you should be blank in church, and the answers were quiet, happy, so and so. And Black kids always said happy.
Yes.
And white kids said quiet. But Black churches traditionally
Right.
are not quiet. Right. So the way you ask the questions and who you are, intelligence is based on information you think you want to get back from someone. You can craft the question in a way that makes the rest of the world non-existent.
Exactly.
And that's what I thought AI was. I'll just be honest with you. I said, this is the way of getting rid of critical thinking, getting rid of human beings. This is letting a machine think for you.
Right.
But
this is taking it back. Yes, this is taking your power back. AI is new, and it's a new tool, but just like any other tool, we can just it's something that you use and to empower yourself. So that this checklist should be able to do that. Let me go ahead and go to the next slide. Lastly, thank you guys. Our role as librarians and educators isn't to ban AI in any kind of way. It's to help students question it, reflect ethically, and use it to explore the world more deeply. If you guys have any more questions, you guys can hit this link right here, and it'll take you straight to my website, giving you more resources for the AI ethics use checklist, as well as other resources that you can use in class for all subjects. Yes, thank you so much. This is Mr. Stephens. If you guys have any questions, one last question, yes?
One last question. I think one of my concerns is something can be accurate and not ethical. So I'd like to continue the discussion about the juxtaposed to the two, because you could be reporting something accurately, but it's still not being ethical. So that I think that's kind of my AI 101. I've had AI 101.
Yes.
Now that's for me. That's AI 201, 301.
Exactly. And this series, I will continue with this in other subjects and how it can work in other subjects as well. Just look forward to that. This one was specifically for 8th grade history, but this checklist, like I said before, is great for all subjects. That is it. Thank you for engaging with me, and I hope you guys. Last question, yes?
Me as a certified referee, I teach other guys to referee girls. Is that the same thing? Something different from this?
Just a little bit. Yes, it is. It is. But you can actually when it comes to we actually get to that a little bit later. But thank you so much. You guys can have additional resources on AI and how to use AI and how to get apps and how can you utilize AI in everyday life using these resources on my slide. I am Mr. Lemmis Stephens III, the ultimate librarian. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a glorious day. Bye bye. That's it. Alrighty.